Hey guys, welcome to part number 9 of Journey Restore. Today we are going to paint the top side of the control panel with just a Krylon satin bright white. This is going to be on the outside of the control panel. The back side of the control panel will get painted a satin black, which is just, I like to use a Krylon matte black. These are 5X paint and primer all in one. So if you have any bare metal or anything like that, you can spray this right over it. We're also on the coin door. I use this rocker guard by Duplicolor in black. I lightly mist this on the coin door first, and then I spray over it with the matte black Fusion Krylon. Also today, we're going to take apart the power brick, clean it with some Simple Green and some Brillo pads. And I'm waiting on these capacitors to come. They're supposed to show up today. They never made it, so they'll have to put those in tomorrow. These other metal parts and stuff, I probably won't videotape me cleaning those. There's really no point. It's just the brackets for the monitors and stuff like that. I'm just going to wipe it down with Simple Green. Nothing too fancy. Same thing with the speakers and all the other brackets. They'll just get wiped down. So let's go in a spray booth. Let's get a coat of white paint on the control panel first. On the control panel, this white paint, we are going to put it on the outside. It'll sit overnight, and then I'll tape it off and paint the backside black. But the way I have it set up in here, we can paint the control panel first, and then after that we'll paint the coin door and the speaker grill today. So that tomorrow, that's all I have to do is paint the back side of the control panel. So let me get set up here and we'll put some white paint on the front of this. Okay, let that dry for a few minutes, and then we can start with the chip guard. We're going to put this on the coin door next, and then after that we'll do the black paint on the coin door and also on the speaker grills. Alright, on this rock guard, I just want to lightly mist it on the panel. I'm going to stay back pretty far so that I just get a little bit of overspray onto the panel. Okay, if you notice there's like some little strings hanging off the coin door and stuff, that'll, I'll be able to wipe those off once it sets up for about 10 minutes. And then we'll be able to put the black over top. I just try to use just a little bit of this because the Midway coin doors don't have a lot of texture to them. They're pretty smooth. They just have a little bit of splatter like here and there. So this recreates it pretty good once you wipe off those strings. So I'm going to give it about 10 minutes and then I'll be back to put the black on. All right, these, I don't know if you can see them or not, these strings, they just wipe right off. You can see them up here or not. You can see them floating around. Take your hand, wipe them right off. Okay, I got all the strings wiped off. I'm going to put 3 coats of this Krylon matte black. All right, let's start taking apart this power brick. I took the 4 screws out that hold the bottom plate on just so that I could take pictures of these wiring for the 2 capacitors so that I make sure that I put the wires back in the same order. This old piece of paper in here kind of separates the any wiring from touching this metal. I wonder if we can get I'd probably just get a new piece of poster paper and put it in there because this is pretty nasty. So we're just going to throw that on the floor for now. Found our old tag in here. From July 16th of 1982. We'll make sure that we put that back in there as well. So this plate will clean. Not too worried about that tape on there. We'll probably put new tape on it. So now, what I like to try to do is get this taken apart and cleaned up. Take these, I call them handles, that's what I pick it up by. I'm sure everybody else does as well. These screws are in good shape. I'm not going to run them in the tumbler. There's no reason to. Put all these to the side. The good thing is they're all the same size. Put this on the floor to clean. Go ahead and take these wires off the capacitors. I ordered new ones from Arcade Shop. They'll be here tomorrow. Hang on to these old ones until you get your new ones, just in case you need the nut off of there or something like that. I don't know if these are bad or not. Chances are they probably are. With running a modern power supply, I don't really know how much these do, if anything. But probably better be safe than sorry. Just put them back in. Now this, we're going to leave that on there for now. And I don't know if the new one comes with it, or if we're going to have to put it on there. So we will leave that so that we have it. And I want to leave it on this one and leave it on this one because they're both different. I think they're different. No, they're the same. But we'll just leave them on anyways. And the good thing about these ones, I'm dropping stuff. The funny thing is like this one right here, the red wires went to this one. This has red writing on it. And then the black wires go to this one, it has black writing on it. So that's a good way to, know which way these go back in. Because these are labeled what size they are. Found an old blob of solder from when they put it together. So just put this off to the side, do the same thing with the blue one. Basically, just disassemble, clean, and put it right back together. Nothing hard about it. I did take a picture of these. Any ones that are striped red with the stripes are ground, negative. And the other ones are positive. Now I'm going to leave this jumper wire on here too because they were jumping over the negative from one to the other. So we'll leave that on there and we'll transfer it over when the new ones come tomorrow. Just trying to make this a little easier so you don't forget where things go. Get those out of the way. Now, pull these wires through. We have an orange wire here. This goes to the first fuse. Pull that through. Okay. Pop that through. Now these wires, orange and orange, red, 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 green, green. The fuses, these two red fuses are the same. These two green ones look to be the same. I have another one of these power bricks in the basement if I need to reference it to remember where the stuff goes. So I'm not too worried about that. Worst case scenario, you have to go through the manual. You can download them online or you can get the paper manual if you want to buy one from somebody. Unfortunately, these tags that are on here are all going to fall off when I clean it. Like this one's kind of nice to have because it has tells you what fuse goes where, but just have to look it up in the manual. I'm going to take the fuse holder off. And what I'm going to do is leave this fuse in the air. That, I'll remember that the orange wire goes on this side. Here's the bottom piece. This is the bottom of the fuse holder. Put this over here. Pause this video for a minute and take a couple more pictures underneath. All right, I took more pictures of where the wires go. This gray wire here, we'll have to cut it and resolder it together. I'm going to cut it right about here and we'll resolder that on. I left a little bit on that side so I know that's where it goes. Now you don't have to disassemble this thing to clean it. I'm just choosing to, just to make it look a little nicer, because you can get it a little, a lot nicer looking by taking it apart and cleaning all the pieces individually. I'm not going to videotape me cleaning all the pieces up. I'll just show you the basics of what I do. Probably get a regular screwdriver rather than using my knife to pull these back. if I'll be able to get this off or not without having to, I don't want to cut these wires. I think we'll just leave that connected and just drop it down. This oil capacitor, I have a new one, so we can pop that out. So I have a new one of these. Take this off. I think it's 5/16. Yeah. This I'll lightly sand up and probably repaint it black again with just a little bit of that Krylon matte black paint. We're getting there, guys. We're almost ready to start reassembling the game. Once this is cleaned and the bottom of the control panel's done, painted, we're ready to start putting the game together. I'll probably get it working first and then put the artwork on afterwards and the T-molding last. That's usually how I do it. Okay, now this I'll be able to clean up. You can see how it's kind of rusty and dingy, and I'll just repaint it black. I'll tape the wires off so I don't get overspray on the wires. Like I said, I'm gonna leave that stuff in. This, I'll just sand it while it's on here and tape it off and just paint it black. I don't want to get into cutting those wires. We could pop these plugs through. And we could take the auxiliary plug out. That's just got a little clamp on the backside. Loosen up the screw. It's got this little spring clip that holds it down. But I don't think it's going to let me. Oh, wow, it just fell apart. Look at that. But I can fit it back together. It's not a big deal. The terminals just fell right out of the plug as soon as I loosened it up. I mean, I could take that off if I get my Molex tool and pop the pins. I'm not doing that. I think this is far enough. But look at all that dirt. Look at how filthy that is. I'm gonna take some SOS, I'm gonna take an SOS pad and wash it down in the sink. Get it cleaned up. I wonder if I can get this sticker off and reuse it. No, they always are baked on and fall apart. But all right, hold on a minute now. All right, I'm just gonna put this in the sink here and scrub it down with some Brillo pad. I'll just do a little part of it and show it to you guys, and then I'll finish it up off camera. But just give you guys an idea. You can get this stuff wet, you just gotta let it dry afterwards. Don't go putting it back in your game and putting power to it. Let me rinse this so you can see. It's not going to come perfect, but you can see the difference right here versus all that gunk. So I'm going to go ahead and keep scrubbing this off camera and I'll be back. All right, I'm back. I got this stuff cleaned up, scrubbed down, look a lot nicer. As you can see here, how much nicer and cleaner that looks. Not perfect, but a heck of a lot nicer than it was. We really can't put too much of it back together tonight because I am waiting on those capacitors and stuff. Put the plug back in. Get that wiped up. Don't know which way these wires go on here. All right. I don't really like the way those wires sit in that plug. It's like they don't want to clip in. I'm gonna have to look into that for a minute. I hope that's not broken. If it is, I'm gonna have to just cap off those wires. All right, I figured it out. This fell on the floor. The black and white wires go in here and the ground goes here. So this goes on like that, just like that. So you put your black and white wires in, you put this insulator over top, then you put your ground wire in, and then that clamp goes over top and it holds all of it together. It's kind of a real pain in the butt to put back in. See if I can do it here without too many problems. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing here. Okay. All right, I'm gonna pause this so I don't, and then I will show you how it looks once it's in. All right, there we go. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's all back together right here. I gotta paint that other black part that goes right here. We can put the handles back on. Get those back in place. It's just nice to have this cleaned. I spent all that time cleaning the bottom of the cabinet, so it's nice to have this sitting at the bottom cleaned up as well. Doesn't take long. It probably took me about a half an hour or 40 minutes to really clean that up. You know, it doesn't take a huge amount of time. In my opinion, I think it looks a million times nicer when you open up the back of the cabinet and everything's nice and clean like it was originally. And really, I mean, a home use should never really get dirty like that again. Well, it's 40 years old, so I guess it wasn't too bad for being 40 years old, never clean. Now this is not rusty. It has like a coating over it. It almost looks like a urethane or something. There's some sort of a coating over it. So I just wiped it down real good and that'll be good to go. The other part definitely needs to be painted black. Now if you remember correctly, this one was the one with the orange. I wonder if I can clean this up real quick. I'm gonna go blow this off. I'll be right back. All right, I wiped it down the best I could. I sanded these contacts with a little bit of sandpaper just to clean them up so the fuses have a good contact. Okay. Now I want to get this orange wire plugged back in. Then I'll put that fuse back in. I have one of these in the house. I'll just put it in when I put in the two capacitors. Drop this plug back in. Just kind of wiping it down real quick, getting all the dust and dirt off of it. This one goes right here. Okay. We have this last plug. This goes right next to it. And remember, I cut the gray wire and I have to reattach it to here. Gray wires back in. These are for the capacitors. I think that's about it for now, until I get those other parts. But you can see it's starting to come back together. Starting to look nice, clean. Gonna go ahead and end this video. I'm just gonna paint this off a camera. There's really no point in showing you how to spray paint. Let's go take a look at that coin door and control panel. It's kind of hard to really see it, but you can get a basic idea what it looks like. Speaker grills. And the control panel is just white. And I'll paint the backside tomorrow. I won't do that on camera. Really no point. So, all right, guys, you guys have a good night. And that's going to wrap up this video. Kind of a boring video. Kind of just some tedious work. Cleaning up stuff, and it's kind of, if you want it to look good, it's kind of what you got to do. So all right guys, you have a good night and I will see you tomorrow.